Before I get into the heart of the project, I feel I need to clarify something I said earlier. I said the following. If it is a very complex one-layer flat raster image, you may have to turn the client's request down. When I say you may have to turn the request down, I mean you may have to tell the client you can't outline and paint the logo because of its complexity. You can still use the logo, but you may have to draw it in VideoScribe as a whole image, instead as an outline and paint image. For example, imagine the client's logo was as detailed as this dragon logo, and it was a flat, raster image. It would be tough to break this down into individual layers as a raster image. If you have outstanding Photoshop skills, maybe it can be done. I don't have those skills. But if this was a vector image with separate layers, you may be able to come up with something interesting. For now, let's move on. Here's the scenario. The client provides me his logo. He wants me to outline the logo and paint the colors in the logo. The logo is a PNG raster image with a transparent background. Because we are using Photoshop for this project, there are a few new wrinkles, but basically, the skills you learn for drawing an image behind another image will be used for the logo project. Let's open the raster logo into Photoshop. As you can see, we have a logo with a transparent background that contains an image with graphic text. Most logos are created with a transparent background, so they can use the logo with different color backgrounds. If for some reason the logo was not transparent, you would need to remove the background to make it transparent. From your drawing an image behind another image lesson, one thing should stand out with this image. Do you know what it is? There is no white space around the image for stroking. We do not need Illustrator to add white space. We can do that in Photoshop, so let's do it. On the menu, click Image, Canvas Size, and we are going to change the width and height of the canvas to add white space. As you can see, white space was added around the image. Now when we stroke it in Illustrator, we have a white space border around the image, making it easier to stay within the image boundaries. I discussed sizing in the previous lesson. Making sure the images are the same size is just as important for our current lesson. If for some reason you stroke outside the boundary of an image and saved it, the image size will be affected by the outside stroke, making the image a larger size than the other images used in the project. Images must, I repeat, all images must be the same size. After creating white space around the image, don't forget to save it. Let's do that now. We will call it original.png. We are still working in Photoshop. We added white space. After adding white space, we save the image as original.png. Now we can work on making the original image an outline image. When done with creating the outline, we will save it as outline.png. With the original image on the screen, I will use the wand tool to select the image. I'm sure there is a better way to make a selection, so go for it. For me, I'll stick with how I've done it for years. It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. We now need to contract the selection we just made. On the menu, click Select, Modified, Contract By, and I will contract the selection by 20 points. After contracting the image, press the Delete key on your keyboard. You should now have an outline. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the graphic text. Select it, then contract it to create an outline. When done doing the graphic text outline, I will save it and name it outline.png. We now have two PNG files for our project, original.png and outline.png. We are ready for stroking, so the next stop is Illustrator. The first image we will stroke is outline.png. Before we stroke, let's do a little house cleaning. Remember in the first lesson, draw an image behind another image. We use the fit to artwork bounds in Illustrator. I won't go into every detail about this command here since it was discussed in the first lesson. If you are using Illustrator, click the Object menu, Artboards, then Fit to Artwork Bounds. Four things we need to do before stroking. Create a layer for the stroke. Set the outline color for the stroke. Select the pencil tool and select how large we want the stroke to be. Start stroking. When done stroking, we select the stroke layer, then set the opacity to 0. We are now ready to save the image. We will name it Outline SVG. When the SVG settings box pops up, I'll just click OK since the SVG settings are OK. The next image we will stroke is the original .png. We just got done stroking the outline PNG image, so stroking the original .png image is no different. The list of things to do is 1. Fit to artwork bounds. 2. Create a stroke layer. 3. Select a stroke color. 4. Select the pencil tool. 5. Select the stroke size. 6. Stroke the image. 7. When done stroking, change the opacity to 0. 8. Save the image as SVG file. Let's name this original.svg.